3, 2, 1.
Boom,
Boom!
chicka, wow, wow.
Boom, chicka, wow, wow. And we're back.
How you doing, man?
Good, bro. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Been a hot minute. What, 3 weeks?
Has it 3 weeks?
2.
Is it 3 weeks?
2 or 3.
It's
We
so
think-
weird. Good start to the podcast. I was thinking about this earlier. Like, we've gone from seeing each other like twice a week.
You got a flaccid mic stand.
Got flaccid a lot of things, mate.
Thank goodness.
Christmas is a
I
lot.
was just sat next to me.
Yeah, we've gone from seeing each other like twice a week to
I
not.
haven't seen you at all.
I like
Still
not at
speak
all.
to you every other day
Yeah.
or every day, but yeah.
Every other day, it's like, I've got this idea.
How's Christmas?
Chilled. I
One
took
day.
Christmas day off.
You said you had 1 day off.
I had 1 day off.
I've had a lot of days off, like from actual working, but my brain still like goes over and over and over.
It's given me loads of time to think about like new ideas.
Yeah,
So I'm feeling like really like focused now,
and
which is nice.
You've pimped your studio.
I've pimped my studio. I absolutely have. I built a nice little light rig up there, so it just looks sexy. This is going to be a good podcast if
Yes.
my mic keeps falling
It's
off.
a great start.
Great start.
Well, mine's solid as a rock.
Oh, you set this up, so I feel like you've sabotaged me. I'm gonna
It happened with Nina as well in that seat.
be right here, and I'm just not gonna move. Yeah. So no, I built a light rig, which looks sick,
I'm
so-
excited to see it. I haven't seen it because there's people upstairs using the studio.
and we've got a smoke machine now.
Two smoke machines.
2 smoke machines. I'm gonna send one of them back though, because the one that I've got is big enough to like just do the studio.
Are they expensive?
The one I bought was like 50 quid, and then the one I got for Christmas like 150. So they
70.
range.
So you're sending the 50 quid one
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
yeah.
Because the 150 one's sick. But I set my smoke alarms off because I got a bit excited the other day.
So do you have to adapt the studio smoke alarm, or do you just have to limit how much smoke you use?
Well, I didn't realize how, because it takes quite a lot of time for it to fill the room up. So I went, and then I was like, that's done fuck all. And then like 5 minutes later, I was like, I can't see shit. I was like, it was literally like you could see 3 yards in front of you. I completely fucked it. So I tried it this morning, and I only put a little bit in, so you get the nice like misty effect, but it doesn't set the alarms off. So I think I've worked it out now.
Dope. You've been super productive. I've done actually fuck all except for eat and drink.
Well, that's what
I've
Christmas
drank
is
a
for,
lot.
though, isn't it?
Drank a lot. But I got like yesterday was my first day where I had real itchy feet. I was like, I need to get back to work. Like I need to dance, or I need to teach, or I need to do something. Like I just have this, like it was nice. It was a nice break and it was really needed, and I didn't know how much I needed it until I stopped. Because I was literally like, and to not have an alarm wake me up every day has been like a fucking dream.
Yeah.
Like even my dog's adapted to having a lay-in again. Like the first few days she'd be up at like 7 a.m. like, come on,
Bitch, let's go.
We've had a lay-in, let's go and play. Normally you're up at 6. Whereas like now she's like till like 10 in the
Really?
bed. Yeah,
Just
so I'm
chilling.
like that. She don't wake me up. I'm like, good girl.
Does she sleep in her bed with you?
Yeah.
Does she? Like
Yeah.
every night?
Both my bitches in my
Both
bed.
of bitches. Nice. Sorry, Georgia.
Yeah, love you. That's our Hallie. No, they both sleep in the bed.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's-
man. Christmas is good.
Do you find now that you've had time off, like, do you think your choreographic head is going to be like way better?
No.
Or do you think it's the opposite?
Opposite.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you're not in that kind of creative
Nah,
flow.
I tried choreographing the other day to I can't remember what the song is, but it's got Ludacris like rapping in it.
Good old Luda.
And I got about 4 counts in, and I was like, I'm out.
How do I do this?
I'm out. But what I have actually been doing, not loads, because I haven't had to choreograph. The time I went, like I always choreograph at the gym,
Right.
so I'll go and do a gym session,
Yeah.
and I'll choreograph whilst training. I know it sounds so crazy, but like
in between sets.
In between sets,
I do that as well. I used to freestyle in between sets.
because
all
I'm
the
like,
time.
it's just dead time. And now actually what happens is I just go to the gym to choreograph, and I end up just like keeping a kettlebell near me and like doing something in between.
You must get some funny looks.
All the meatheads look at me like they're going to beat me up.
Is it
and
like
then I want to
what
be
kind of gym is it?
Meathead gym.
Meathead gym. So the worst one to do.
And
it.
they have like a lot of like footballers and rugby players go in and train like sport specific. So they say,
Right.
but it doesn't look very, just because they throw a rugby ball at the wall. I'm like, you know, everything else you do is not sport specific. But they look at me like I'm crazy, and I want to be like, yo, I can probably out deadlift you as well, so go away. But I've been freestyling a lot, like just
Yes.
putting music on and just jamming, which I never do enough because I've normally got to teach 6 days a week, so
It's
all the
choreographed,
time
choreographed,
it just goes
choreographed.
into choreo. So I've just been freestyling quite a lot, which has been super nice.
How do you find the difference between freestyle and choreography?
I fucking hate freestyling.
Yeah, I love it.
I like freestyling like when I'm on my own, but like if it's in front of people,
people.
I hate it. And I feel like when I freestyle when I'm like on my own, I'm good.
This
And
is
then
it.
as soon as there's an audience, I'm like,
How the fuck do I do this again?
it's like just dumbness takes over my body.
When I used to compete freestyle quite a lot, I used to train to like 150% because I know that the moment I'm in front of a judge or a crowd, it's like 40-50%.
I just feel like, it's weird because I know what I do wrong.
Go on, what do you do wrong?
Like I think.
Right, yeah. You think about
Like I'm
steps
thinking
rather
and I'm
than-
so busy trying to fill space. Whereas like when I watch like dope freestylers, like they have so much time. They're not afraid to just
so
chill.
patient.
They're so patient. Like if you go and watch Clara Banjo, I think that's how you say her last name. It's definitely not Banjo.
Billy
That's
Banjo.
actually Banjo. But Clara, if you go and watch Clara freestyle, like bro, she's so patient. She's so chill. And with me, I'm like,
Yeah, you go 1 and a 2
yeah,
and a
one
3
and 4 and 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then when I'm on my own,
you just vibe.
I'm playing and I'm exploring and I'm trying new things. And
Absolutely.
I'm willing to be shit. But as soon as there's people like, or if I'm in front of people, I'm so afraid of doing something shit.
Do you kind of default to like quote choreographic movement?
Oh yeah,
when freestyling?
100%. Go back to all my go-tos.
Yeah.
Like
Kickball
little
change.
little jazz turn. Yeah, but if I just kickball changed, that'd be dope. Because if I just go
Right,
like,
'cause you
watch I can do a kickball change and do so many variations and make it look interesting. And I really can. But like, I don't know. I just don't do that
You
when I
don't do
freestyle.
that. No,
I
because you
feel
go
like I'm
into
just kickball change.
impressive mode.
Yeah,
look
yeah.
I can do a fucking backflip.
And do you know what I think it comes from? I think it's from... This is so off topic of what we were going to talk
Yeah,
about
no,
today.
fuck it. We'll roll with it though.
Not even remotely close. I think it comes from auditions where they
Okay.
go, finish the routine, now freestyle.
Yeah.
And it's about showing off. It's about impressing. So I would always have like my blow-ups or like my go-to things, which I know is going to work for me. Because you don't want to experiment in an audition.
No.
That's not what you try shit. That's what
No,
you do
it's
shit. So I feel like my whole life has been based around booking jobs.
So it's that.
So like
mentality
that's
carried
just like my
forward.
go-to. It's like my default, which I need to try and unwire.
We should get some jams in.
Yeah, no.
Do it. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, bro, we gotta be more productive than that. Trying to make an empire. Ain't got time to freestyle.
We've got time to freestyle.
Okay.
Part of-
And
in
that's
between sets.
and that's part of the reason why I've signed on to that training program. So basically, there's a training program.
Go on, you're talking about. I'm
I'm-
gonna close that door quickly.
All right, so we're doing your heading as well.
Yeah.
I've signed on to a training program which is in Swindon dance. It's called. I keep burping. It's called the Jam Movement. Let me just double check. What did I say it was called? The Jam. Yeah, the Jam Movement, and it's in Swindon. So it's near my house. The Jam Movement, aka the Jam. Yeah, they've got it coming up in the Easter holidays, and it's like for a week. And it's all different foundational hip hop styles, and I'm assuming there's freestyle battles and stuff there. So I was just like,
You're gonna get wrecked by 14-year-olds who are
bro,
fucking sick.
I'm gonna get absolutely rinsed.
Because
Like,
it's a totally different way of thinking about dance.
and like just even like the popping classes, like they're all gonna be doing like basic popping, and I'm gonna be like twitching in the corner. Like I'll be fine when it comes to house.
All traps.
When it comes to like house and locking, I think I'll be fine
Mm-hmm.
because it's like I'm quite good at house.
Well, you understand how to.
I
use your
understand house,
hips.
and then locking, I'm okay. Like I've done enough Jimmy Williams classes that I can like.
Mm-hmm.
I would never say I'm a locker or I can lock, but if you put me,
you're gonna be able to do a
I can
choreo.
blend in.
Yeah.
And I have decent technique.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not fantastic. I don't know all the terminology, hence I would never teach it, but I understand it to a good enough level. But popping, not a fucking clue.
It's so hard,
Dude,
I
I've
did like
taken-
popping training for like a year, like in my studio, like every day. I'm still dog shit. At it.
I did so many online steezy popping classes and popping Pete wins on CLI, and I'm still trash. But then sometimes I'm like, am I trash? Or am I just
Compared to your standard of your normal ability.
ability?
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Because I'm sure for like someone who doesn't understand dance very well, they'll watch me pop and they go, "Yo, you're dope at that."
Yeah.
Like,
True.
or like,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
isn't an advanced dancer. But
To
if
a
I can-
dancer, you're shit. To a non-dancer,
I'm probably dope.
probably
Or
don't.
not
yeah.
dope.
Not shit.
But
But you know what I mean. I
but-
used to drive, and I used to just practice my arm pops. Like all the
Really?
time. I became a little bit obsessed with it at one point. Still shit at it though.
yeah, for me, it's the leg pop.
Yeah.
Like I don't like pushing back into my knee,
I
and
push
then they say
forward.
push forwards, and then I just feel like I'm doing really fast plies.
Yeah,
Like-
which is kind of what it is.
Yeah.
I always imagine it as, this is so wrong from my understanding of popping. Like, you know when someone kicks you in the back of the knee?
Two absolute idiots talking about something they don't know.
Absolutely. But yeah, I used to knock my knee forward as
Yeah.
if someone's kicking from behind
Yeah,
the knee.
because some people say do that, and then popping Pete's like, no,
You got to go back.
go back. But
But
then
hit
some,
your heel to the floor.
some people are so against that.
as a PT, I'm like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah, bro. I'm like wow.
It's been a while, people.
I haven't spoken in a while. Biologically,
We'll go with that. Physical. Everyone's
Physically.
thinking they're fucking retards.
physically,
No,
physicology.
I should really know this.
Physicology.
Can we edit that out, Jake?
Wow. I don't know. You can do it. Yeah. Anyway, like you shouldn't go back, but I guess
It makes a better
people
pop.
have done it.
Mm.
Anyway,
Makes a better pop.
so yeah,
No, I think that's sick that you're doing it though.
I just want to do something like out of my comfort zone, and like it sounds silly to a degree, but like I'm not doing it for other people to be like. I'm not doing it to show other people I'm doing it, but I was very much like, yo, you need to practice what you preach. Like you always tell people like if you're doing something and you're struggling, you're in the right place.
Yep.
And I was like, when was the last time I put myself in that
In a
position?
position where you're struggling.
Like
Yeah.
it was doing tap in lockdown.
Yeah.
Like otherwise I've not been out of my comfort zone in such a long time.
Mm.
So I was like, yo, if I just pay for it now and it's a week, I have to do it. Because you know I have that thing like I'm never gonna let that money go
We
to
spoke
waste.
about that in a previous podcast.
Like I'm never gonna let that money go to waste. So I was like, it was just spur of the moment, like zero thought. I didn't even check if I was available to do it.
Did you not?
No, I just bought it, and
I'll make it work.
then I was like, when is it? Like it just saw April. I was like,
That'd do.
so yeah,
Did you watch that video I sent you yesterday about Alex the Cage?
some of it, not all of it.
You know, we were talking about patience.
Yeah.
I think he is king of patience.
Yeah,
I'm like, I think he's a sick dancer. He's not necessarily the way I'd like to move as a dancer, but he is masterful at patience. So I think study him a little bit just to understand that.
yeah, man, I'm excited. Step out my comfort zone.
Because maybe he's teaching. Who knows?
Hopefully. So yeah, I don't know how we got onto this topic.
No.
But hey, good times. So before Christmas, because we haven't spoke to you guys in a while, I went to watch Gary Barlow's tour.
Did you?
Yeah. Lisa Spencer, who's teaching on the program in January, she
Yep.
choreographed it, and some of my friends are in it. I don't know all of the people on stage, so only some of them, but I'm sure we would all be friends if we got to know each other. I'm sure you're all lovely people.
Contact
Some of my homies. But it was so good, man. Like for someone like I'm not a Gary Barlow fan.
Mm-hmm.
Like Take That are cool, but it's not like I wouldn't be like, yeah, I love Take That or I love Gary Barlow. So I went in just like it's just a
Whatever.
night out. Like I got
Yeah.
free tickets to go and support my mate's show who's choreographed it. Me and Georgia drove to Birmingham. Bro, what an amazing show. Like I don't know. I know I'm biased to my friends, but I also have friends that I know that are shit, and I'm very much open to you about like, oh, I like that person, but I think they're trash.
Yeah.
Like, but like, yo, Lisa Spencer, absolutely annihilated it. Like, it was perfect.
Was she the sole choreographer?
Yeah, like her. Well, she was the choreographer, and then I believe Leanne LeMay, who danced in it, assisted. But it was just like it was perfect. Like I can't even tell you how perfect it was. Like
jealous now.
every single number made sense.
Right.
Like there wasn't too much, there wasn't too little. Like there was so many nice groove moments in it, and all the girls had like heels on and like normally booty shorts, but like not like trashy booty shorts.
Yeah.
Like not like a Nicki
Stylish.
Minaj video.
Yeah.
Like it was all like sequins or like big bandy kind of clothes, like feathers and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just perfect, man. Like even Georgia, like I watch it as a boy, and I'm like, yo, like that's dope. Do you know what I mean? But Georgia watching it as a girl who dances was like, that would be my dream.
Right.
And like she's like, I don't like this music, but to do that choreo on stage, that would be the dream.
That was the dream.
And like even I was like, I said to Lisa like, yo, where's my heels? Like get me some heels. I'll get on there. Like it
Have
was
you ever done a heels class?
never done a heels class, but I've danced in heels.
Have you?
Yeah, I danced in heels once to prove a point to people because they were like, I can't do it. I'm in heels, and I was like, who's a size 7?
When you just put them on?
Yeah, and
Have you
danced
ever done?
And danced the combo.
Have
I've
you
done-
ever worn heels before that?
Yeah,
As
yeah.
in, like, walks in
I
heels,
was
whatever.
Dolly Parton once, but I think I had like cowboy boot heels on, and then
Right.
I did a.
Well, so you literally got into stilettos. Stilettos, kind of thin heel.
Yeah, but
Excuse
for,
my ignorance.
Yeah, for chimp, no, nothing but stilettos.
The thin
The
motherfuckers.
thin ones, the ones which look like you should only be walking on your toe. Which
Yeah.
essentially you are.
Mhm.
Yeah, I wore it once as a pussycat doll for like a show, as a like joke.
And you absolutely cruised it.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't say I cruised it, but I can do it. You just stay on like releve the whole time.
Right. Wouldn't know.
I mean, that's probably
I don't
not
wear heels.
technically correct. I've no idea. I'm never gonna teach heels in my life. I don't ever want to. I don't even care to understand it.
No, true.
But anywho, like, dude, it was sick. Like, it was such a good show. I left there a Gary Barlow fan.
Right.
Like, and a fan of the choreography and stuff, but just
Yeah,
the
yeah.
overall, like, production and everything was, like, it was dope. And, like, because he's been around forever, like, there were so many different, like, genres of music. Like, do you know what I mean? And, like, he would do some Christmassy stuff. It was just dope. It was super cool.
So you'd recommend?
Yeah, big shout out to Lisa and the dancers. Like, I think she's going to start taking over.
What, Lisa?
Yeah, as a choreographer.
Right.
I feel like if you're a creative
What did
director,
she choreograph? I recognise the name. Like, what else did she choreograph?
she's teaching for us for the program. In
Yeah,
January.
I thought she... No, I'm thinking of someone else, don't worry.
She's done choreography like for stuff, but I wouldn't say she's like yet as like you wouldn't be like Lisa Spencer the choreographer.
Gotcha.
You go Lisa Spencer, the most working female dancer in the history of the UK.
Gotcha.
Her, Jenny Griffin, and Katie Collins. Like, shout out to anyone else who I've missed, but you know what I mean. Like, that's where like I think people's brains go, or the girl that teaches heels at base,
Right.
the dope one. Like, but I feel like after watching that, like I always knew she was dope, but choreographing dope for a class is one thing.
And then stage.
On stage, but it was just perfect, man. Like, everything. Just nailed it.
Lovely.
Super nailed it. And then last week I went to watch Panto
Right.
in Stoke with Georgia, which is where me and Georgia first met 7 years ago.
Oh, full
So it's
circle.
kind yeah, so we go every year to go and watch it. Because it's like where we met our friends, like Johnny from Wilkes. He's like the main person in it, and all the actors. And I had proper FOMO, like, because I wanted to be on stage. Because I haven't performed in such a long time, unless it's like in class. You know what I mean? But it's not the same. I haven't performed on stage in ages. So I had proper FOMO, and I sat there, and me and Georgia were like, oh, remember when like this used to be us? Like, that was fun. But then I was watching everyone on stage, and I was like, I've taught every one of them dancers.
Really? Because I know a lot of Wilkes students got into a lot of pantos.
Oh, they did fucking loads. But like all these ones are all ex-Wilkes students, and I've taught them all, and like they are all incredible in their own right.
Oh, wicked.
Like, and there was something so fulfilling about that. Like,
Yeah.
and I said to them, we went for drinks after. I was like, I know this is really old manish of me. Like,
I was so proud.
but it made me so proud to look at you all on there, because I remember you all in your first year.
Wicked.
Like, I
That's a
remember
lovely
you
moment.
all when you were like good, but now you're like fantastic. So like, it was just dope. And Poppy, who from AP Tutorials, she had to go on a swing as fairy godmother.
Oh shit. Right.
Which, like, I've done panto quite a lot. I know quite a lot about panto. I've never seen anyone go on a swing.
Right.
Never. Like, it just doesn't exist in panto. Like, obviously it does, but like, it's very rare. I'd never heard of it. But obviously because of fucking Rona, people are getting ill left, right, and centre.
So swings becoming
So
massive.
swings are like, so many swings are going on. So she had to go on as fairy godmother that day, and she only learned it that morning. Like,
Fuck
she had to go on and
that.
sing the tracks, bro. Like, in front of like over 1,000 people. Like, that is my worst nightmare.
Yeah, that's like a
if
heart
they
attack right
They
there
said
for
to
me.
me, you're going on as like to do that song. I'd be like, bitch, I'm not. And they go, you are. I'd be like, fire me then. Like, I am not going on. Like, I can't sing, first of all, so I'd never be put up as a swing for that I can sing. But like, yo, she was so sick. Like, I was so like,
Like, did you know she was coming on a swing before you?
yeah.
watched it?
They
Could
told
you-
like, but I didn't know she could sing. Like,
But did you know, like, could you see that she didn't know what she was doing?
no,
Because you knew-
she had
because
one.
you had that pre-
She had
knowledge.
one moment where she looked at.
I'm
a
not
line.
casting you down, by the way. If
No,
you're
no,
listening.
bro. She had one moment where she looked at a line on a script, like.
How did she look at the line script?
So like fairy godmother can go on with like a noteboard and a wand, right?
Oh,
And stand
okay.
on the side and go da 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 da, like, and do her rhymes. She had one moment where she looked at it. Like, everything else, she said she was in the wing, like going over it and go on, but she learned everything that day.
That's insane.
I don't know
dude.
if they did, but I'm sure they cut some lines out, maybe like that you don't need, that aren't necessary.
Gotcha.
But I don't know that for sure. But like, even the fact that she learned the songs, like,
yeah, that's
bro,
insane.
like, shout out. But then, so apparently a few days before that, a boy called Steven went on as someone. So I was like, no, you've both done swings. Like, this is crazy. Since then, we went on like the 22nd or the 23rd of December. Since then, they've had 2 other swings go on. They had Ella, who's been
Oh yeah.
Ella. She went on as Cinderella. The
Did she?
main. Like, this is the main character, bro.
Well, so was she swing or was she?
Yeah, she was swing for Cinderella.
Gotcha.
But like, never thinking you're going to go on a Cinderella in Cinderella.
No.
She went on. Wish I saw that.
Yeah.
But I was
I
like,
guess
that's
you was
dope.
Cinderella as
'Cause
well.
now she is Cinderella.
Dun-dun-dun.
And then Charlie went on as Prince Charming. I was like, yo,
Mad.
these motherfuckers be swinging.
Isn't it?
They be swinging. But it's happening quite a lot of pantos, man. Like, that's my worst nightmare.
Mm.
Like, I think
That's gonna
if
be
you're...
Nina soon, isn't it?
Huh?
That's gonna be Nina soon,
Yeah,
isn't
but
it?
it's different because you've rehearsed. Like...
But she's got to learn like fucking
Yeah, but bro,
God knows
Kyle's
how
in
many tracks.
Germany. Kyle's learned 11 tracks.
11 tracks.
11 tracks,
Oh my
Kyle
gosh.
knows. Like, as a swing. But that's your sole job, is to know those tracks. When
Yeah.
you do panto, you go on and you do 4 weeks worth of shows. You're not thinking you're going to go on a swing.
No, fair.
And so many people have. Like, the professionalism that takes is mental.
Mm.
Absolutely mental. So, yeah.
Have you ever been on stage with like you've literally learned it that morning? I know you've had like last minute changes, but actually like here's a set.
I mean, stuff like when you go on X Factor and stuff like that, and they go, right, you've got to learn this number and do it today. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like, that it's the norm.
Right.
Like, it's become the norm. So I
You're
wouldn't say
almost
it's-
in that mindset that it's gonna happen.
Yeah, and if it's just like one number, it's like cool. It's when it's a few, is a nightmare.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think. I'm sure there is, but like, I don't know. They just kind of blend in. You kind of just go, it's normal.
Mm-hmm.
Like Lewis Capaldi, I learned on the day and did it that day, but it was only like 8/8s, and it wasn't that hard. Like,
Right.
I learned more than 8/8s in
In
a
a class.
45-minute class.
Yeah.
Like, it was just body rolls with my top off. So like, but then doing it in front of a crowd is the part which I guess would be intimidating.
Mm.
But I forgot I danced with Lewis Capaldi.
That's just the first I'm hearing of this.
You're
too.
just like, oh, I forgot I
Oh,
did
yeah, I
that.
did
That's cool.
That's when you know you've had a good career, mate.
Or you just shit memory.
Or both.
Yeah. So no, I think there are times, but none where I've been like flapping,
Gotcha.
you know,
Mm.
and not flapping on my own. With just I've learnt it. Like, it's been where like a whole team has learnt it.
Right, and everyone's flapping.
Yeah. So then you kind of feel like you're all in the same boat.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
who
And that's
gives a shit?
part of the set by
But
this
if
point.
it's just you, I feel like that's horrible, because you're like assuming everyone else is going to crush it and do really well, and you're going to be the shit one,
Yeah,
which would suck. Yeah. So that's happened, and then I wanted to talk about this
Oh yeah.
because
Oh God, just
I
make
saw
myself
it.
uncomfortable.
Sorry, mate. I saw it on Philip Joel's Instagram. Let me just find it. I sent it to you, didn't I?
What's
Philip Joel put, my DMs are full of people on cruise ships experiencing horrific working conditions right now, but are scared to speak out in case they lose their jobs. So please, no equity and Emma, I don't know what this is.
Insert name here.
Aware, and they're out to help you. Please reach out if you need. Don't suffer quietly. And I was like, my first thing was, why are loads of people messaging him?
Yeah.
That is like, I don't
is
know
he not
what's-
associated with like
with cruises, yeah, with in the musical theatre world and like cruises, and he teaches them all on like in colleges and stuff. But it just, I want to know what triggered them all to
right.
message. Like, if his DMs are full, like, I wonder what triggered everyone to be like, we should message Philip
Mhm.
about it. But anyway, that doesn't matter. It was just crossed my mind. So I was like, I need to know more. So I messaged him, and I was like, hey man, like, any chance you could share the issues with me? Just intrigued, would love to talk about it on here to kind of maybe highlight what people are going through, or I don't know, just bring awareness to it, because you know that's quite shit. Like, so he said, hey love, just entertainers' privileges being taken away. No shore leave when they dock. They have to stay on ship. Gym facilities are taken away or extremely reduced. Food is not edible. Having to pay for water if isolating.
Oh my God.
No windows in their cabins whilst living and isolating, which is normal on a cruise. As a
But
dancer,
you're not normally isolating, right?
no, but you don't normally get windows because you're normally in the shit rooms downstairs. Like, if people are on ship and the rooms are full, I guess you can't put them in a paying person ship
No.
with a room. But still, that doesn't make it any better. Wow. They have to stay in their cabins unless they work or eat. So a lot of their time they're confined to a windowless room. More shows to perform every night to give more passengers a choice to see shows. So I guess they're restricting how many people are sitting in the theatre.
Yeah.
So they're having to do more shows. But for me, it's the like, not being able to leave the boat when you're on the cruise. Like, I know that's not the end of the world, because like you're there to do a job, but like
It's kind of part of the cruise, though, isn't it?
that's the whole point of why. Like, I've never taken a cruise, but to me, the whole appeal of doing a cruise, it's not the money and it's not the shows. It's like you get to earn money and do shows
And
and,
visit the
get
world.
off the ship
Yeah.
and see dope places. Like,
I'm gonna guess it's all in response to COVID, right?
oh, I fucking hope so. Like,
They've now turned into slave boats.
I'm assuming so. So like, you know, that's awful. Gym facilities being taken away is absolutely dog shit. Because, like, as we know, if anything, you want them
Fitness
to
and
be
health.
exercising to prevent it.
Absolutely.
And if it's because you don't want them mixing with passengers, well, then just give them, like, a
time
2-hour
slot.
time window where you know there's no passengers going to be there. Probably, like...
But surely, if the passengers are the ones walking around, like, if they're all in a boat together, like, surely...
Yeah, but I guess the
Like, where's
passengers get on and get off, and the like...
And then they're the
so they
ones
might
doing
only be on
COVID
for a
back
week. Yeah, but they might only be on for a week, and then they fuck off, whereas the cast are on for a year or
Right.
6 months. So they can't afford them to, like...
Be ill for 2 weeks.
be ill for 2 weeks. That's my again. This is me just
Assumption. Yeah.
assuming. But then food is not edible. Well, cruise
Is that
ship-
just like a standard there?
I don't know if that's a standard cruise ship thing. Like I did one cruise ship for like 3 days.
Did you?
Yeah, but it wasn't. I wasn't. We were like launching a boat for
Right.
Black Skull Creative, and it was such a fun job. But the food wasn't fantastic for Thompson Tui Cruises. But you know. I was like 3 days. I don't give a fuck. Like,
Yeah, you wouldn't do it for you.
I'll figure out. And I'm not that fussy. But I guess if you're living that life every day, that would be pretty annoying. But for me, it's the having to pay for water.
Yeah, dude, that's fucked. That is
Like-
like basic human rights.
That is basic. And if you're like being told you have to isolate, so the choice of you going to get the free water above where the all the other pedestrians are is being taken away, then they at least have to fulfill that. Like,
Yeah.
like, and then it makes me want to go like, who's your agent? Like, that's what you pay an agent for, to reach out to your agent to be like, yo, help me fight for my rights.
Right.
And that's
Is that an agent's responsibility?
it would be my agent's responsibility.
Gotcha.
If
Yeah,
I don't know about what musical theatre world is like, but like, I know if I was on a job, I would, and my agent would be my first port of call. Like, well, should be. It wouldn't. I would take it up myself and get never
But, like,
hired again.
Is your agency
But-
allowed to get involved with that?
Yeah, that's why you pay them commission. Like,
I just thought they found jobs. Again, excuse my ignorance.
like if I had an issue, I would ring Chris Minot or Jerry Reeve, and I'd be like, "Yo, like,
Sort my shit out.
you're my representative on this. How do we approach this?" And if they go, "This isn't something we can deal with. We need to go to equity." Cool. But like, have you gone? I'm assuming they've gone to their agent, right? If you haven't gone to your agent, you're a dumbass. But then what is their agent doing with it? Like, I hope their agent is doing something about it or going to equity with it. Or you're a part of equity. But like in the commercial world, like I would only have Dancers Network now. But back in the day, I didn't have that. So I would have relied on an agent. But I just think that's awful. Like, and doesn't that make you go, well, then what's the perks of like
Being on the thing.
being on the cruise?
Are you... Well, again, you haven't really done a cruise, so I don't know if you know the answer. Are you contracted? I'm going to guess
Yeah.
because you're on a fucking boat.
Yeah, I don't think you can just be like, I'm leaving.
I'm out.
No, I don't think it's that easy because they have to. How'd you get home?
I guess you get off at the next stop and take a flight.
Yeah, you got to pay for yourself.
Yeah,
but
but-
you're in a contract. Like, I bet there's a release clause. I bet you have to pay to leave the contract. Like, I'm sure.
But then that fucks the show up, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's why they're not going to just let you leave because they have to pay then for someone to learn your track and get in there.
Fill in the gap.
That'd be interesting to know, actually. If
Do
you,
you know
can
anyone
just
on a
bounce.
cruise? Yeah, do you know anyone on a cruise at the moment?
I know loads of people that have done cruises.
Might be worth getting in contact.
Yeah,
The more you know.
I know it's the same with like, I believe in a West End show, you can't just leave.
Right.
Like, I'm pretty sure you
Unless
can't
it's-
just bounce
yeah,
if you're
You're
mid-contract.
injured or whatever.
Yeah, but even then, you're still in the contract. You're still, you know, that's when you want to be in the show. You still get paid even though you're injured. Like, so yeah. So sorry, cruise ship people. I hope you're... In fact, if you listen to this and you know more information,
Hit us
holla.
up.
Let us know. I want to know. I want to educate folk at home.
Absolutely.
So yeah, man. That's all my things I wanted to talk about, really. And you wanted to bring up... what are the highlights of our year?
Yeah, so I was thinking, obviously, end of year, going into the new year. Now, I'm not a new year, new me sort of person. I never made New Year's resolutions in my life.
You don't go like, my diet starts Monday.
Nope.
No.
Literally never. So my logic behind this is, if you want to change there and then. Do you know what I mean? Like, I remember, so I used to be guilty here. I used to be a smoker, heavy smoker, and long before I was a PT, for the record. And in my mind, I was like, I'm going to quit soon.
Yeah.
And then I listened to a song called Iron Sky by Paolo Nutini. And at the end of that song, I love Paolo Nutini.
So not what I was expecting.
There's a motivational speech halfway through it.
Yeah.
And I quit after that song and then smoked again.
Instant. Sick.
No nicotine patches, no
Sweet.
cut down. I just went from 20 a day to nothing.
Let's go.
And so that's always been my mindset is like, if you want to create change, like I'm a big believer of some day isn't a day of the week. Anyone say someday I'm going to do this. No, you're
What
not.
about someday I'm going to be a millionaire?
I think that's a bit more because like that's
Because you can't just be one.
because you can't just click your fingers. But something like
I'm going to be a better person someday.
I'm going to be a
Or
better
like-
person in some characteristic change.
Yeah.
You can change that almost instantly.
Yeah.
It takes hard work to do that, but you know,
It's doable.
it's doable. Or quitting smoking, or quitting drinking, or changing your diet, or going to the fucking gym 3 times a week, or whatever the fuck it is. So like the idea of waiting for a certain time frame makes no sense to me, and the statistics are so stacked against you. I can't remember what it is. It's something like 80% of New Year's resolutions fail within the first 4 weeks.
Yeah. So you don't set New Year's resolutions?
Never.
You never
I just
have.
fucking change.
I've set New Year's resolutions because I kind of like going. I'm very much like you, as in like I can just make it happen. Like
Synchronized clicks.
you just make a choice. Like to me, it's a choice. Like
It's a
everything
choice.
is a choice,
Mhm.
and everything is on you. You decide the outcome of everything by your reactions to stuff, which we kind of spoke about with
Yeah.
Christy. But I do New Year's I do
Do.
I do
I do New Year's resolutions. Go
I
on.
do New Year's resolutions, and it's only so I can look back a year later and
Right.
go, did I live up to my own expectations?
So it kind of gives you a accountability through time
Yeah.
frame.
Now this year, did I fulfill them? Some.
What was your last year's?
The ones for the last one, I think they're on my phone somewhere. Anyway, I know the one which I didn't fulfill. It was to do a podcast every week.
Gotcha.
I didn't fulfill that. But, hear me out. Although I didn't fulfill it.
No.
No. So,
Go on.
although I didn't fulfill it, I feel like I took a step further into the direction of where I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have the consistency that I would have hoped for, that I should have had, that I set myself.
Hard year to do it in though.
Yes, but I doubled down on it.
Mm-hmm.
I've spent more money on it. I drive an hour to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a
Reached out to
partner in
me.
it. Like, there's
Yep.
more things which I've invested. So I may have not have done my consistency, but I've doubled down on myself. And also, the other reason why I wasn't consistent, which is, I'm not here for excuses. I don't want to say I haven't had time, because there's always time.
Shit
You
excuse.
make time. Shit excuse. You make
Shit
time.
excuse.
You make time. But I've been teaching 6 days a week
Mm-hmm.
for a year. So my day I'm not,
Just chill.
I invest in my relationship.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely, yeah. So,
so
the,
it's
the
like-
priorities have changed in that year.
yes.
And that's also a thing about a New Year's resolution is priorities change all the time.
Mm.
So like to say something at the beginning of the year kind of makes no sense to me because in 6 months' time your world might be completely different.
Yeah, but some people need that, bro. Some people need to like have something to like a reason to do something or something to work towards. Like for
I
me,
agree, but
like,
again, I think that I never give myself a start
no.
date.
But if I had like a photo shoot in 2 weeks' time, like that's something for me to work towards. Like I know I can be photo shoot ready by then.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but do I need to do it just on day-to-day life? No.
Mm-hmm.
I'll look good, but not photo shoot ready. But I could go topless in audition. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they did different things.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
And then my other New Year's resolution was to buy a house. Didn't do it.
But
But again, very difficult year to do it. But I will buy one this year.
I'm very close to it, and it's been something that me and you have talked about loads. So it's you're present with that experience still.
Yeah, I'm still going through that motion.
Mhm.
But I don't even think sometimes you need to reach your resolution. I just think you need to set your mind to it so you work towards it.
Mhm.
I think as long as, like, it doesn't matter if you're taking big steps or small steps. As long as you're
there's a
taking
step.
steps.
Yeah, and again, things like buying houses, like the time, like there's so many variables to that
Yeah.
because of how the housing market is. Like you probably could have bought already had the housing market been different.
Yeah, but it
And
wouldn't
the
have been-
availability of houses, as an example.
and it probably wouldn't have been a house I was interested in.
Mhm.
Like, it's
Yeah, so
also-
you're
it's
waiting for
also
the thing
things
that's
like
right
that.
for you.
Um,
So I think I think if you were to make a New Year's resolution, it's something that is completely in you control the narrative. So if something like I'm going to go to the gym every week,
yeah.
you can control that, or exercise every week. So regardless if gyms are open or closed, you can still exercise. Where something like buying a house is kind of hard to
Yeah, for sure.
to execute on, because there's so many variables that are out of your control.
I'm gonna do ones this year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Buy a house. Buy a house.
Yeah.
Buy a car.
Yeah.
Podcast every week.
Podcast every week.
My
Or average every week, because we could do 2 in 1 week and follow it over.
yeah.
I got you, homie.
So okay. So maybe even if it's not podcast every week, it's build the brand.
Build the
of
brand.
the ins and outs every week.
Mhm.
Like as long as every week I've invested time into building the brand, like
Which I definitely think we've done for the last, like,
3 months,
3-4 months.
easy.
Easy.
Like
every week there's something that we're going, oh, let's do this.
Well, so we're both sat at home playing out, sending each other photos, trying to build shit. Like,
Check out this shit logo I just made.
Make out this logo I made without using my hands. Like, just using my nose on the screen. That's what looks like crap.
The constant headbutting.
That, again, most of mine come down to building my brand. Like, building the brand of the ins and outs, but also building my brand as Kane Silver.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said to you recently, like, I really want to teach people I've never taught before.
Okay.
I really want
interesting
I
one.
really want to reach people. Like I feel like people that I've taught, I've either helped you and my job is done, or like I've inspired you in some way.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, to me, if you come back, that's dope. But as long as you leave thinking it was positive, I'm happy. But there's so many people that I've not inspired or educated.
Gotcha.
Or
That's a nice one.
you know, so I would like.
Is that solely through ins and outs program? Is that teaching through
Whether
colleges?
it's going to schools,
Is
colleges,
that
like
online classes, like
anything.
Absolutely
Like I don't
anything.
have a agenda of how.
Sure. It's just a
It's
it's
just
a broad
a
goal.
Yeah, it's just a, like I
Nice.
want to know that I'm helping people,
Mm-hmm.
like, and whether that be like in an educational way or inspirational way or an entertainment way.
Mm-hmm.
They're all pros. They're all positives. So in whatever way that is, another one is I want to invest more in my training
Okay.
again.
Nice.
Invest more in me because I'm so busy teaching,
Giving, you're not
giving.
taking.
I'm not taking,
Mm-hmm.
and I need to take a little more.
Absolutely. And I was talking about this quite recently with other people. It's like when you make yourself the sole purpose of your decision making, you have so much more to give.
Yeah.
So if you start taking back from the world, you then actually amplify how much you give to the world.
Yeah. Like the one thing, like when we have a guest teacher on the program, it's normally my favorite week of the program because it means I'm not the teacher.
You're not the teacher. You're the
I get to be a student again, or
Yeah.
half of a student because I teach half. But like, that's
Yeah.
a nice bit for me. I get to listen to somebody else teach. I
Mhm.
get to learn from their teaching. You know, there's something really nice about that.
I think again, just like I think we just spoke about this quite recently. Just like sitting down if you're eating food, watching a Steezy class or a CLT Studios class. CLI, close.
Yeah.
3 out of 2, 2 out of 3. Woo!
Hawks.
But like things like that, you can fit it into your time frame, can't you?
Yeah. So I know you don't have any New Year's resolutions, but
Go
what
on.
things are you thinking about working towards?
So I'm not going to explain the full, but I'm building another brand.
Mhm.
That's been big.
Yeah.
So I've already started preparing for that massively in the last month. And hopefully, I set a date like about a month ago in my head of when I'm going to release that brand. So the 5th of June, 2022, I aim to have the brand released by that point.
Let's go 5th of June. Why the 5th of June?
I was, again, you know, these kind of random moments where I just
Yeah.
go, this is what's happening. I don't know what I was doing. I was at home and I said 6 months. I'm giving myself 6 months. I'm going to completely double down. It just happened to be the 5th of whatever the fuck month that was. 5th of December, maybe? Maths is hard. And I was like, 6 months. And because I've given myself that time frame,
You'll work towards it.
I'm now like...
That's kind of what I was saying earlier, though, about like if I've got to get ready for a photo shoot. Why people have people have to set targets and set goals.
Set time
That's what
frames.
they do in New Year's resolution because they go this time next year.
But like how easy would it have been for me, because I think it was 5th December that I set this goal. So how easy is it for me to go, oh, I wait into the new year?
Oh yeah, of course.
When I've just made 25 days worth of progress, I've had meetings like every week. I've done so much groundwork and I'm still not into the new year. So now the new year, I'm like a month ahead of my time frame.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Which is why I just go, right, that's it. And it was literally one day, like, for example, I had to contact a company which I was kind of working alongside with. And I just went up to them and I went, look, I'm going to pay not shitloads of money. I'm going to pay money up front and we're going to double down on what we're doing.
Sick.
And they're like, okay, fuck. And then they took me seriously.
Yeah.
It's just a switch in my head. I just went, we're doing it. What else do I want to work towards? I I would like to be able to spend more of my time creatively. So doing creative work.
Like,
Anything from this new brand that I'm building or to videography work, for example. Like,
because like, bro, you've doubled down on videography. I was actually talking about you at dinner the other day with Georgia and my mum and everyone.
right. Nice.
And I was saying like how much you inspire me, because I was like, if you think in May or June,
Right.
you said to me, yo, I'm trying to get into videography. You were doing my program as a student.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm trying to get into videography. Can I film the last session?
Yeah.
And I changed the whole way I run the program, because I was never had a filming day.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, if that's what. And remember I tried talking you out of it. I was like, bro, I don't want you to film. I want you to dance.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I want you to dance. I don't just want you to
I was
film.
like, no, fuck
and
no.
you're like, no, I want to film. And I was like, okay. And since then, like, how far you've come, because you doubled down on shit. Like, and that to me is so inspiring, because it's like you're gambling on you. And like, I always gamble on me. Like, if I want to buy a car tomorrow and someone goes, oh, that's a lot of money, you can't afford it, I'll go watch.
Watch me, bitch.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I can double down on me to succeed.
Yeah, and that's like been definitely a learning curve over the last couple of years, especially since running my own company. Is like, I know I can control the narrative and I can control the outcome, so I'm always going to double, triple down. Like, just in like the last like month or whatever, I've really kind of figured a new route of like how to make money and how to like utilize my time more efficiently and how to make a better ROI for my kind of hourly rate.
ROI?
Rate of return or return on investment.
Okay.
So
I'm like a dumb person here.
no, but it's just investors talk, I guess. Yeah. So I was trying to work out ways to kind of increase how much my hourly rate is basically, and I kind of realized like, fuck, I can use my studio, I can use a camera. Let's buy some badass lights and just make it all click together.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something. So yeah, what else would I want to achieve? Here's one from a characteristic standpoint. I would like to talk less, listen more.
Oh, nice.
I always find that I try to not interrupt, but I like to cast my opinion. And there's this quote that
Me too.
which is me and you always bouncing on top of each other. There's a quote that I heard probably well over a year ago is, the more you listen, the more you learn. And it's something that I've really been trying to apply. And I now really start to sit back and listen and really watch how people interact and what they actually say and read between the lines and all the rest of it. And now I need to start talking less.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of feel like...
I feel like I want to start talking less.
I feel like I don't want to talk less. I want to talk more. But I want to talk positive. I want to like... I want my talk to be like valuable, like beneficial.
Yeah.
Helpful. Like
100%.
I want to talk more. I don't want to talk less. I also want to listen more from valuable, experienced people, which are going to bring me more wealth. And I don't mean wealth as in financial wealth. I mean like knowledge or like inspiration or... Do you know what I mean?
But this is I mean 100% the same mindset or frame of mind is, if you're in presence of those sort of people who are knowledgeable, and you're constantly talking, you then have no opportunity to take from them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like
so that's what I'm trying to say is that I don't want to sit down and have a conversation with someone who's not going to give me much, and then I don't know what I'm saying, words and shit.
Well, I hate small talk.
Yeah.
Like when I'm with like people and they go, "So what do you do?" I'm like, oh. Like I want to be like I'm a plumber. Like, do you know what I mean?
Really boring.
Because I just don't want to talk about work because you don't get it.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
anything, I want you to tell me about maybe if you do something interesting. But you know, I have this thing which is kind of awful, and I always think that I do it without even thinking about it.
Go on.
But people be like, "Yo, how are you? What you been up to? Like, how's work?" And I tell them, and I don't ask them back. But should I tell you why? Because I actually don't give a fuck.
Right. Especially to like muggles and normal people.
And it's not that I don't care about how you are, but I don't want to know how your work is because I have no interest.
Right.
So do I ask out of like courtesy and politeness? And
Depends
then that's what I mean though. But like if I care, I'll ask.
Gotcha.
But like my friend works in a bank, I always ask him because that's to me like he's young, he's younger than me, and he's high up in a bank. I'm intrigued. I always
Right.
ask questions like, how's work? Because he always tells me like what he's dealing with and the things that he has to overcome being
Yeah.
young in a high position. But then other people I don't ask because it's like, then I have to sit and listen to you for 20 minutes and try and look
Talk
like
about
I
how
care.
you change some pipes in a plumbing
But
job.
try and look like I care. Or like I have an interest.
Mm.
Like if you're a painter and decorator, like my dad's a painter and decorator, I just go, how's work? You been busy? Yeah, I'm busy. Ramming, son. That's dope. But if he starts actually talking to me about paint or painting, I'd literally rather die. Like,
Poor dad.
no, but I love him. It's not a
But I
bad thing,
think-
but it's like I just have no interest in that.
I think on the flip side of that same equation is they like talking about themselves. Everyone likes talking about themselves.
I'm only using my dad as an example. He doesn't ever talk to me about work. But like, I'm just trying to
No.
find...
But by doing that, you're accounting for their needs and wants as well.
Mm.
So if it's a relationship you care about, let's say Georgia had a really boring job.
Yeah.
Georgia being his fiance, and you never allowed her to talk about that.
Yeah, I'm not fulfilling my part of the role.
You're not fulfilling, and like she might be really excited.
Yeah, but
about
it's different when it's your fucking fiance. I just mean like for
Dunno.
small. I said small talk. Small talk is like when you bump into someone on the street.
street,
No,
yeah.
like small talk isn't sat down with my fiance making sure we're both mentally stable, like and that life is going well. Like
Okay,
like,
your fiance is a
that's
really bad
shit example. Of course, I have to listen to her life.
Okay, but yeah, like
But
I guess
the taxi driver. I don't
I
need
know-
to listen about
you
his
know when I'm
kids.
talking to taxi
I
driver.
know. I don't need to listen to the taxi driver's kid's first day at school. I don't give a fuck, bro. Unless like Spider-Man came or like he lifted a fucking car off someone.
I'm gonna turn the camera.
I don't care. But like again, but then when it was like when we were in the taxi and you were asking him how much money he makes and how it works, that
Well, I was interested in his business
that
proposition.
was interesting because then you're like, well, what are the perks of being a taxi
But
driver?
that's it. It's like, can you ask powerful questions to actually find out like interesting parts of their equation? Like, let's say I was talking to someone about their job and it's a really fucking boring job. I'm gonna try and find the interesting parts of it because they're gonna feel so much more valued.
Yeah.
And I think that like I had once did a life coaching course, like a kind of beginner's life coaching course, whatever, and I really started to understand the power of good questions and how much influence you can have over someone's kind of not happiness, whatever, but like you have so much. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Powerful questions are cool. Anyway, moving on.
They are. So yeah, New Year's resolutions. They're mine. I think everyone should try and do them. Because I think even if you don't fulfill them, you'll be mindful about trying to do them. And if you need that to get you going, then it's better than not going at all. But I would rather you just go from this moment. But a lot of people don't have that. They don't have that. Otherwise, everyone would be Elon Musk.
And I think when it comes to, yeah, that'd be nice if everyone was Elon Musk, wouldn't it? I think where I see goal chasing, let's call it, go wrong is people say, hey, I want to go to the gym 3 times a week, but then they don't create a strategy.
Or I find that people they say, I want to go to like Christy was saying in the other podcast the other day, people say, I want to go to the gym 5 times a week, but you haven't even accomplished one.
They haven't accomplished one time. They
Like,
overdo
you
it.
overset you overachieve. Which I used to do when I was younger. I used to be like, I'm going to take 5 classes a day. And I'm like, bro, you don't even take 1 a day yet. Like,
Fucking hell, 5 a day, that'd be killer. But yeah, so I think that's a really good point. Is set realistic goals. If you're going to do it, set a realistic goal. Because if you fail at the first hurdle, you'll never carry through with it.
because I think momentum
Is everything.
the best driver.
Oh, yeah.
force.
100%.
Like small,
And there's loads of science
of
behind
small
that.
wins is so much better than one big win. Like, because loads of small wins equate or evaluate to one big win normally. You know?
Oh, 100, yeah, thousands of decisions make one big. They actually did a study on this, on kind of winning and losing. So they put, I can't remember how many rats in a fucking cage or whatever. And then they put 2 rats in a tube. And they had to push the other rat out. And if the rat won once, it would win every single time until it lost one. And then it would lose forever. So it had this idea that there's this kind of dopamine release on winning.
Yeah.
And how much easier it was to continue winning once that is. And then again, there's loads of like neuroscience on it. I'm not a neuroscientist, so what the fuck am I talking about?
No shit, Sherlock.
I'm a fucking PT. But there's loads of studies that suggest that once you make a win, any win is to really acknowledge it and reward it. Not reward through like a fucking cake or whatever, but as in going, I did a sick job.
I reward myself like cake. I buy myself shoes.
But like that's
But
why
it does. It sounds so stupid, but that does motivate me to like be
To
like
win.
to keep going because I'm like, yo.
But even from like a chemistry standpoint, like having that chemical release, like for like dopamine, whatever, it really helps to win your next day. So a big tip is acknowledge your wins. If
Yeah.
you've done a sick job, go
Tell yourself.
100%, because that it will cause that dopamine
Yeah.
hit.
I do that every Sunday when I leave my program, or if I've taught and I've done a really good job that day, I really manifest on like how well of a job I've done.
Absolutely.
And I go, I'm gonna remember all the things that made me do a good job today and use them again. And when I do a shit job, I don't dwell on it, but I really go, why was this shit? How do I make sure I don't do that again?
Absolutely.
And I really like acknowledge the
Problem?
shit.
Resolve it
Yeah.
straight away.
Yeah.
It's
Instead
like-
of just letting it settle, I'm just being like, it is what it is. I kind of go, I let it go as in I don't dwell on it and hold it with me. I just go, I'm not going to do that again. Move forward.
Again, and that's another thing is like, I find people, including myself sometimes, I sound like I'm trying to like cast myself aside as different, is people are reactive rather than proactive about their behavior and reactions to stuff. So let's say, I don't know, you taught badly one day. I like what you're saying is like, you then go away and evaluate your behavior and understand why
It's
you
like
did a bad job.
It's like I always say, that's what I did with auditions. If I had a bad audition, I'd acknowledge why.
And
I
then-
wouldn't cry about it. I'd just be like, why was I shit today? And when I did good, I'd be like, yo, I'm dope. Like, why was I dope?
Yeah.
Why did I stand out today?
Absolutely. And yeah, constant reevaluation. It's like the other day I was filming some videos in the studio for some dancers for their show reels. And I wasn't happy with the way the lighting was. So I was like, okay, let's be proactive about that. How do I then create a better studio environment?
And we've done that with this. Like the first
Every
time,
time?
like every time we notch it up. Like I hated the audio, so I was like, I'm buying new mics.
Yeah.
Like you hated the video. You were like, we need to get a switchboard. We
Yeah.
need to buy a better camera. We need to figure out lighting. Like constantly adjusting to make improvements. And sometimes they don't actually improve.
No.
But you go, okay, that didn't work.
So what's the next thing?
What's the next thing? Instead of being like, that's awful. That's a shit video.
And then when you do execute on that, like of how you made something better, then you kind of reward yourself. And then all of a sudden that loop becomes so much easier to stay into.
Yeah, and I think like even like on the level of like dancers and stuff, like even you should be doing that every day. Like when you're taking class, whatever you're
What went
doing,
wrong?
like what went wrong? What did I do? Why did I enjoy this class? What about it was I good at? What about it was I bad at? As opposed to just being like, that was a cool class and leaving, because then I feel like you're not actually, you're not taking the lesson. You go into class, but you're not learning. You're not taking anything from it.
I always find that, especially on classes that I've really been challenged. So let's say I walked into like a jazz class.
Yeah.
Never going to happen. I find that you learn more outside of the class from the constant evaluation of
But
what
you do, not everyone does.
well, that's what I'm saying. You
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, you can,
know
but
what I
not
mean?
not everyone does.
Like, especially like when I first started coming to your program, I learned so much in the program, but I learned so much more outside the program. Because I was like, okay, so he said this sentence. Why? What does that mean? What does
Yeah.
that represent? Oh, he's doing drills in this way. Why?
Yeah.
Why? And I find that you learn so much from the evaluation.
Figuring out the why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Telling you shower time, I learned so much.
In the shower.
Because that's my free time to think.
Mine's driving.
Yeah, I do as drive, but often I listen to like motivational speeches or podcasts when I'm driving.
Yeah.
But like for example, I was in a crossroad of how to run my company. So it was during the second or third lockdown, and I know I needed to make a change. I had to cut off an arm to save the body, and I
Yeah.
didn't know how to execute. It was on my mind for a few days, and then I had a shower, stayed in there for like 20 minutes.
Looked at your body and said, I need that arm, but do I need that one?
And I completely remodeled the company in my head. And the moment I got out of the shower, I started executing. I got changed first, obviously. But just walking around bottle naked on the phone, like, come on, let's do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my
wherever
time.
you thrive, sunshine.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's dope. So I like New Year's resolutions. You don't. That's a fact. What are some of the highlights? We're coming to the end of the year. Like, what are some of the highlights, do you think, of the year?
Highlights of the year.
Like, because there's loads of shit things that have happened in this year. Like, the last 2 years have been pretty tragic for, like, or pretty shit for most people. But, like, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Like, I've thrived.
Yeah.
I've thrived.
Even because you adapt.
But yeah, but I
Listen,
really
kids.
have. Like, I quit a £30,000 a year tour. Didn't know what I was gonna do. Like, kind of thinking, what the fuck's gonna happen next? But I knew I could make it happen. Again, doubled down on myself, thrived, and I've really enjoyed this past year.
Has the whole double down thing, is that new for you? Or have you always been that way?
Oh,
I know I'm kind of sidetracking here, but
I've always been that way.
Cool.
I always I rely on me as opposed to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I know I can. Like, I never worry about money. Because I go, I'll figure out a way. Like, if I've got to go and work in McDonald's tomorrow, like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I would never worry about that. And then with things I don't like, happiness, like, to me, that's another form of succeeding, obviously.
Mhm.
Like, if I don't like shit, I just stop
Sack it off.
doing it. I know that's not possible for everything. Like, do I love teaching 5-year-olds? No, I sure don't. But it's better than working at McDonald's to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd rather earn my however much pound an hour teaching 5-year-olds than earning my minimum wage at McDonald's.
Absolutely.
You know, like, I have to make some sacrifices, but my overall lifestyle is a win. Like I said on the episode with Christy, like, if I could rate them out of 10, my days are never below a 6.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Highlights. This is definitely one of my highlights. I'm going to be honest about that.
Mine too, man.
I've really enjoyed the learning curve of it. Enjoyed getting to know you better and kind of building a brand together. That's been super fun.
Yeah.
I love our workflow. Like, you're on my level and I'm on your level, and it's just constant, like, back and forth of ideas, and that's, like, super inspiring to me.
Yeah, and
because it makes me elevate on other parts of my company.
And we throw more ideas. I throw more ideas at you, and you throw them at me than I've ever thrown at anyone.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'm like, oh, that's stupid. I'm not going to say that to someone because, like, they're just not going to register. Whereas I threw at you, like, which we're not going to talk about on here because I still want to do it, like, a business idea, which is, like, not stupid, but, like, a lot of people would be like, what? And you were like, that is genius. And I was like, yes! Like,
absolutely. Because you've got that mindset of, like, again, problem, solve it. Like, you've got that mindset to do it. And I think what made me comfortable to double down on this company or this brand is you always made it a we, never a me. As in you, as in me. Me, you, me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I always use the word, like, me is when I'm talking about it, but, like, you know, I don't make any decisions
as a soul, yeah.
As a
which
soul
is
now.
The only, yeah, which is, as I said, the reason I doubled down. I've got a hold of my tracksuits. The only reason I've kind of really doubled down with this is because I've never felt like I'm working for you.
You're not.
I know.
Like, you're not.
Like, you made it a partnership.
Yeah, like,
which I respect. Because it's a big brand for you, and it's been
my baby for 4 years
and
now.
you've allowed me to step into it.
4 years almost. In April, it'd be 4 years.
Is it?
Yeah.
Shit, man.
But to me, like, I'm aware that to really succeed, like, it's not just about you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you need to have someone that can fill in the things that you can't. Like, I'm good at networking. I'm good at talking. I'm good at dancing. But there's so many things I'm bad at. Like, and you happen to fill those things I'm bad at. or be willing to try.
To do it.
Whereas you always say to me, you need to do this, but I'm not willing to try because I'm trying to juggle all the other things I'm trying to do. And you're willing to try. And again, like, you inspire me. Like I said, that you're the only person not the only, because that's really harsh on all my friends and other people, but you're the nearest person to me and someone who just is willing to take a gamble and believe in not only yourself, but you also believe in everything I do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's something that means a lot to me. Like, I've said it before, like, so many of my friends, they've helped me by, like, coming on the podcast or, like, you know, they say good job and stuff, but not very often. Like, and I don't need lots of good jobs, but they never, like, I'm sure they support from afar, but sometimes you need, like,
am I doing the right thing here?
A support for the club. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't.
That's the thing I've been reflecting on a lot at the moment. It's like,
or be willing to tell me that I'm not doing a good job.
Yeah. Because that's actually being a better friend.
Yeah. Whereas you do tell me sometimes, like, you could do that better, and I go, okay.
And vice versa. You tell me I can do it better as well. So that's something I've been reflecting a lot on lately. It's like, it's so hard to know if you're putting out something new to the world, new for you, not necessarily new
to the world,
but you know what I mean, new to you, to the world. You never really know if you're doing a good job or not because no one tells you. You never get feedback.
No.
So it's like, like I really value people who give me honest feedback all the
Yeah.
time. And then you find that people are watching. There's so many times I haven't seen someone for 6 months or whatever, and they go, "Oh, you've been doing this, and I'm like, "How the fuck do you know all this?"
Yeah.
Because you haven't communicated to me in 6
Yeah.
months, but
Well,
you've seen the shit that I've been up to.
Yeah, that's like me, bro. When I speak to like guests on the podcast from like America and stuff, I don't speak to them ever, but
No.
I know what they've been up to
Yeah.
because I'm interested. But also
do you,
because
do you
they
ever
inspire.
interact with them? Like if let's say okay, Mr. X from America, random person, do you ever go, "Oh, good job, that looks sick"?
Yeah,
Which is,
I guess
which
that's
is something that
that's-
I'm doing now. Is like I'm now going, "Bro, that looks sick."
And I tell people like that they inspire me now.
Mhm.
Like I'm very much like open to not kissing people's ass, but being like,
Being honest about how you
like,
feel about their
yo,
position.
you inspire
though.
me.
Yeah. Like the other day, I said to a friend who's a dentist, he's made dentistry. This is such a boring topic. He's made a social media account around his dentistry, and it's so entertaining. So
Yeah.
I messaged him. I went, "Dude, you've made dentistry entertaining.
Yeah.
Fair fucking play." Haven't spoken
Yeah.
to him in like 5 years. It wasn't his dentist though,
My
but he has lovely teeth. So whoever
Yeah.
did it, shout out him.
He's a dope dentist though.
So yeah, something. Let's go for another highlight.
My highlight is my teeth.
They are lovely.
One of them.
I'm a bit jealous. Okay, another highlight is, I think it's more of like a life lesson to myself, kind of loosely what we were just talking about. I realized this year that my superpower is being unique. Now, to expand on that,
Yeah, I was like, give me
Give me
more,
more.
give me more.
to me, like, I've never felt like, okay, we're going deep now, I fit in to society's quote construct.
Yeah.
And that's always bothered me
Why?
because I was not mature enough to understand
Yeah. Okay.
that that's actually the best thing I can be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a couple of years growth, so maybe not this year, but like as the last couple of years, but I think this is more harnessed than last year. That by me doubling down, I've been speaking for too long, has actually generated more success in my life than not.
Mm.
By being like unapologetically me
Mm.
and to just be like, fuck the world, I'm going to do it my way.
Mm.
I've grown astronomically more than having to not. So that was a big game changer for me this year as well.
Mm.
Go on, your turn. Hit me.
Highlights of the year.
Hit me.
This for sure. It's been a huge highlight. But I don't feel like it sounds weird. Like it's not succeeded. It's on the beginning of his
Mhm.
success. Like that's how I see it. Like it's not like a.
But you know
we've-
when you're
it's
right
not.
road
It's
now,
not an.
right?
It is an accomplishment, but like, it's not accomplished. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Like, this is I've just planted the seed.
Yeah.
That's how it feels. Or we've just planted the seed.
Yeah.
Another highlight of my year. I mean, little things like I got a dog. Like I've always wanted a dog. I
Is
know
that
that's
this year?
yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, like I know it's
How
not
old's
a
Hallie?
little thing; it's a huge thing. She's 1,
Gotcha.
but obviously you don't
Yeah,
get
yeah.
her. We got her in, so it'll be end of January. We'll have had her
Gotcha.
for a year. Like to me, like to some people, it means nothing, but like it's the first. I mean, I've had pets before, but like this is like a real pet that you have to like look after, and commit
It's
to,
almost like a bloody baby.
and like yeah, it's like having a baby. And like, is it always rewarding? No. Is it always enjoyable? No. Is it testing? Yes. Is it frustrating? Yes. Sometimes does it drive you nuts? Yes. But I've overcome it all. Like, and it's kind of like a sign of to myself that I'm matured.
Gotcha.
Like that I've grown.
Yeah,
and I've
yeah.
learned how to put not something else before me, but co-balance my
Coexisting
needs
in
and
life.
making sure that the puppy is happy and my fiance is happy.
Mhm.
Not making sure they're happy, but doing enough to help them
And
in
being
their
aware
world.
of it.
You know, like it's been a huge like achievement for me
Mm-hmm.
because I've always been like blinkered, me. Like Georgia says, like, oh, you're really selfish with some things, and I'm like, I know, I had to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Like
That's the sacrifice it took
that's
to get
the
there.
sacrifice it took for me to get.
That's a
where I wanna
whole nother
be.
conversation.
But now I'm having to go. It's not just about me. Like,
Mm.
how do I come here and do all this shit today and make sure Hallie's okay and how to walk and you know what I mean? Like getting up, going out in the rain. Like I wouldn't do that if I didn't have a dog.
No.
Like that's not something I want to do. But like it's just like a small
So representation
fine-tuning of adulthood for
of
me.
personal growth, yeah.
Like, even though I'm 31 and I'm old and all my friends have got kids at my age,
Yeah.
like, I'm still a giant child. Like, I still have a kid's life. Like, I still dance every day. I still do what I love every day. Like, I know that's not a child's life, but, like, that's how I see it.
Yeah.
I'm just a child with responsibilities now. Because I really feel like I have a playful, fun life.
You do. But that came from hard work.
But now this is my first dose of responsibility where it's like, oh, this isn't always going to be
your
fun.
responsibility. Yeah.
So that's been a huge accomplishment. And another one is learning to just be a better me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really going, the things you suck at, you need to get better at. Like,
Okay.
And
Go on, give us an example. Are we talking like characteristics? Or are we talking like physical skill?
Oh, no, characteristics.
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 We are.
Like paying attention.
Okay.
Like, I'm the kind of person that just does something and doesn't double check it. And if it goes off wrong, I'll fix it when it comes back. Because to me, like, I always say overthinking is the worst. Overthinking for me is the enemy.
Analysis paralysis.
Yeah, but just trying to be a little more cautious with stuff.
Okay.
Trying to be a little more aware.
Go on, give me an example of that.
Like, even just like sending an email. Like, the amount of times I put the wrong date on something.
Yeah.
Or like,
yeah.
I'll do like an Instagram post and I'll do it, like, spell something wrong. Just little things that I'm trying to be more aware of, even though essentially I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I need to care.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Because to me, it's so easy to fix. But just don't make the mistake in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the balance of like little stuff like that.
Do you find that actually saves you time as well? That's a no.
No.
He's shaking his head.
No. I feel like it might save me time, but it causes me more stress. Because
Gotcha.
I have no problem with I have no stress solving a problem.
In post, yeah.
That doesn't, like, for me to go, I made a mistake, it takes zero effort.
Mm-hmm.
It takes zero stress. Whereas some people can't go, I made a mistake or I fucked up and I have to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
If I fuck up, I'm so happy to fix it. I'm so happy to say sorry. I'm so happy to, like,
Yeah.
take it on the chin and go, that's my bad. But what kills me is to go, am I doing it right? Is this correct? Like, that to me is stressful.
Stressful.
So I'd rather just do shit, but I'm trying to find the balance of two.
Mm-hmm.
So
How's
yeah.
that gone?
I don't know. I'm still here. I'm still here and I'm thriving. So it's going okay.
You're thriving.
It's going okay.
Nice. That's a good one.
Yeah.
So how would you bottom line that? Being...
I don't want to use the word cautious.
No, because it's not patient. Precise.
Just trying to
Words.
execute things better.
Okay.
Like,
Better.
I'm trying to double down on my
Aware of your execution.
aware of my execution,
Okay.
as opposed to just throwing an axe targetlessly.
Talking about which we need to go axe throwing soon.
Yeah, I'm targeting it. If that makes any fucking
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, those are my things, I think.
I think, like, kind of to add on to that, like, I have definitely... It's kind of what I was saying earlier about how, like, if you have a goal, create a plan. Like, I used to just basically spray and pray. Do you know what I mean? I just have 10,000 ideas and I'll just do it all at the same time.
Yeah, well, something will stick.
And something will stick. We're now, like, especially in this last kind of like 3 months, I've been like, okay, this is the goal. How do I execute? How do I make that happen? Like, I want to make £1 million. Okay, cool. How do I do that?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't know the answer to
I
that.
don't know that. I'm still working that one out. But as a, like,
I can tell you how to make 20.
20 quid. So yeah, something else that has been, again, a character realization this year. And I actually wrote about this quite a while ago. So I'd often write like little ideas and theories in my notes or whatever, is to be a beacon of behavior rather than a receiver of behavior. What I mean by this. So again, I kind of touched on this earlier about being proactive versus reactive. And I find that I used to be, and other people are very reactive in how they approach friendships, relationships, work in life, etc.
Yeah.
So like they wait for a cue of someone else's behavior.
Mm.
Where now I'm a complete beacon of how I want people to behave to me, because I will always lead the behavior first. If I want to receive generosity, kindness, love, respect, whatever, I absolutely throw it to the world.
Yeah.
I will always lead with those behaviors.
Yeah.
Because it attracts those behaviors back to me.
Ah, I like that.
So I'm a beacon of it, and I'm a beacon of it on.
That's
social
like when
media.
that's like when they say, share positivity, you receive good things, like positive things.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Absolutely, and it really does, because it sets the tone of how I want people to talk to me.
Yeah.
Or how I want people to behave to me like if like in business, like there was opportunities where, especially in the last year, that it could have gone sour or gone negatively because I was reacting to their behavior. So I overrode it. I think that's the right word.
Yeah.
And behaved with love, kindness, and respect. And that diminished their approach and changed the outcome.
That makes sense.
Do you know what I mean? So I always, I'm a beacon. I'm a fucking beacon, bitch.
Fucking beacon, bitch.
And again, I do that on social media. I do that in business. I do that in friendships. Constant. And it's working well for me. So try it.
Life is good.
My
life is good.
I'm loving
life.
life.
I don't think the world is good.
No, that's how I want to have a conversation.
No, but my life is good.
Boom. What's up, party people? You know one of the worst things about being a self-employed performer? That's right. It's your tax. If you're sick and tired of collecting all your receipts and guessing your way through your tax rebate, well, I know the people that can remove the stress and make it as simple as 5, 6, 7, 8. That's right. It's Theatre Accounts. They're an accounting company that specialise in working with performers, so they know all the things that we can claim back, and it's so simple. You upload your invoices and bank statements to their website, and they do all the work for you. It's cheap, it's easy, and once you try it, I guarantee you will not regret it. It has changed my tax life. Just email info@theatreaccounts.co.uk. That's Theat, Theat accounts. So again, that's info@theatreaccounts.co.uk. Make sure you tell them you're from the Ins and Outs podcast and you'll get some 5-star VIP treatment. You will get treated like a king. Honestly, they've changed my life. They've made it so much easier. They've removed the stress from tax and they can do the same for you. Boom.
Sweet. That was an advert break, people. Because the camera died. And we're just disguising it as a advert break.
Proactive as opposed to reactive. What were we saying?
I was talking about proactive versus reactive.
Yeah, and I was saying I hope people
take inspo from it.
Try and find a way to love their life. Like, do the things you love. One thing just to wrap it up, one thing I've been doing, and I saw as an Instagram quote, fucking Instagram.
Good old Instagram quote.
Whoever thought that Instagram would give me life lessons. You know when people say like save something for a special occasion? I've stopped doing that.
Okay.
I've stopped saving things for a special occasion.
You just go and wear it.
Because every day should be a special occasion. Like every day is what you make it, right? Well, I want to make every day fucking dope and every day special. So like, remember I told you like I bought my Jordans on one of the first episodes we did.
Yeah,
I was like, this was the first time I've ever worn them. I've worn them like 9 times since.
Nice.
So I'm on today. I'm about to dance in them today. I would never have danced in
they're
these.
filming today, aren't they?
Because you know what? I'm just like, I might not get to wear them tomorrow.
Yeah.
What good are they in a box? Like, I'm really trying to just be like, every day is going to be like my special day. Like, try and make every day like dope. Because I have the ability to make every day a dope day.
100%.
Even if it's not.
Do you think there's a cap to that though? And I guess I'm more.
Of course, there's a cap to it, but like,
I'm gonna approach this from more of a monetary sense. Like, if you treat every day like a special day, and you go and like spend way more than what you earn.
Well, I don't need to spend money to do it, but like, I just mean like save things for like, you know, you'd be like, oh, save this bottle of wine for.
Gotcha.
For like a special occasion. Or like, you know, when people have like a bottle of champagne which they've had for like 10 years or saving it for a special occasion. Yeah, but you might never get to drink it. Just have fun. Yeah. Like, have we not learned in the past 2 years that life's too short?
100%.
Like, and that's just
the government's going to strip you of all your basic rights. Sorry, what? Beep, beep, beep.
What? What? Oh my God. You're a conspiracy theorist.
God.
But no, I'm just there. I'm just like, yo, let's just fucking have fun. Like, yeah, we have to do like grown shit and we have to do shit we don't want to do, but we can also try and make them nice things. So like today I was like, I'm wearing my dope fucking shoes that I love wearing, that I look at and they make me feel good because I can. Why wait tomorrow to look at my feet and feel good?
I feel you.
Yeah.
Define success for me. Random ass question.
I think we did this with Christy Lee, right? Success to me is every day enjoying that day.
I love it.
Like that is like making sure that every day I go, that was a dope day.
That was at least a 7.
And I know it can't always be a home run, but can
make it consistent.
It can always average good.
Yeah.
Like, I know you need to have highs and lows. Like, life is a roller coaster. Just gotta ride it all night long. I need you. Who?
This is what I have to put up with every voice note. It starts with something like this. Every morning, he voice notes me something like this.
Life is a mystery.
I hate myself.
Gotta ride it all night long. Yeah, like I know to appreciate the goods, you have to experience the downs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm aware of that. Like, but
your good should be outweighing your bads.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you do have some control over that.
100%.
Like shit things can happen to you,
100%.
but like shit things could happen today in shoes that don't make me feel good. Because that's something that makes me feel. But that's something that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And like if having like buying a Costa makes you feel good, but you can afford to do it,
buy the
do
fucking
it.
Costa.
Like,
Yep, agreed.
you know, and if you can't afford to buy the Costa,
Find
harder.
a way how to do
No,
it.
work harder.
Yeah, find a way how to afford it.
Yeah. But try and do it in something you like, because then you'll be more. Then you'll want to buy more Costas. You'll want to work harder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Love it.
I don't know. I'm not a fucking life coach. I just know how to teach dance. But
What is a life coach?
what is a life coach?
What is life?
Don't know. I'm gonna lick the microphone.
What'd you say?
I just licked the microphone.
I think, dude, we've had a fucking sick year. I can't wait for next year.
Let's go 2021.
Boom. I've been saying to myself this whole year that 2021's preseason
Mm,
and 22's fucking game day.
let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Every day's game day. Game day. We in this.
But I just felt like this is my warm-up time. Like,
Mm.
I'm just warming up. I'm like a 6 out of 10 at the moment.
Is that how you feel?
Yeah, honestly, this whole year I've been like, this is
I don't feel like I've been warming up. I do feel like I've been hitting home runs.
100%, but I feel like I got more to me.
Oh, I feel like I've been hitting.
Do you know what I mean?
I feel like I'm Tom Brady and I'm in my first year.
Right.
Like I'm in my first year of the longest championship ring or whatever the fuck he is, holder of all time. Girls are probably like, who the fuck's Tom Brady? And some boys. But
Who's Tom Brady? Just for the viewers.
one of the most accredited, achieved NFL players of all time.
There
And
you
I don't
go,
even
people.
like NFL, but he's just a good example.
He's a good
'cause
example.
Everyone goes, he's still the best. He's still winning.
Mm.
Like, I feel like this year I've hit a home run and I've got way more to go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I hope you guys do too. And
Yeah.
if you don't, I hope we can help you.
In
find it.
fact, we want to hear your goals.
Yeah.
We want to hear your goals.
Yeah.
Fucking hit us up with that shit.
Hit us up with hit us up with some goals. And actually, if you have any questions on how we think you can achieve them, that'd be dope.
We'll hit you back.
Yeah, put it in the Ins and Outs podcast DMs,
Blah, blah,
and
blah.
one of us will get back to you.
Yeah.
And if you want specifically one of us to answer, tell Jake.
Why tell me?
I don't know, just being an idiot.
You'll get a long voice note from me explaining like
You won't get
every philosophy.
You won't
and
get a voice note from me, but you'll definitely
quote
get a
I've ever listened to.
You'll definitely get a message. Yeah. Here's 2021. Let's go 2022.
Let's go.
Things to look out for 2022 from the Ins and Outs. We're gonna have loads of new guests, loads of new episodes, lots of content. Obviously the monthly training program. We're also gonna have yeah, fuck it, I'm putting it out there.
Go on.
We're gonna have an Easter intensive in
Pussy you
April.
won't.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
Did you say pussy?
I said pussy you won't. You were like, let's put it out there.
We're gonna have an
Coming up.
Easter intensive, and my goal is to have a summer intensive as well.
Mm.
The Easter intensive is more likely to happen, but I'm putting it out that both are going to, because I can make it happen.
This is something, I'm just going to throw this out there. This is something that I've been doing this whole year, was I'd put out goals to other people so they could hold me accountable.
Ooh.
And I actually put it on social media a few times. I'm like, I'm going to do this by that point to hold me accountable.
You know, some people go, don't tell people what you're gonna do, just do it.
Yeah.
I like telling people what I'm gonna do.
Because it holds me accountable.
Yeah, and then I like go watch me.
So this is Kane holding himself accountable so we can hold him accountable later. Blah.
Blah.
We're too white for that.
Hope you all had a lovely Christmas. I hope you're not too fat. I've definitely put on a bit of water weight, but it'll be gone by the 2nd of...
Water weight.
That was too loud. It'll be gone by the 4th of January. I said 2nd, but I'll go with 4th. Yeah, hope you have a happy new year. Stay safe. Live life. Be happy. Don't forget to tell your friends
Peace.
to listen and subscribe. Peace.
Much love.
We out. Bitches.